Lots of sunshine today. It's a cool start, but we will be seasonal this afternoon. The winds are finally starting to ease, but it still feels like -3, -4 across much of the GTA right now. An increase in cloudiness as we move through the overnight. We are expecting showers tomorrow. If you can safely get outside and enjoy the sunshine, and seasonal temperatures this afternoon, a guaranteed high 10 degrees.
680 news time 9:02.
The Easter long weekend is typically spent seeing extended family or up north at the cottage, but while most Canadians spend this one inside, others will be spending their day in the House of Commons. MPs will be looking to pass the largest economic measures the country has seen since the Second World War.
This as Canadians look to weather this pandemic that has now infected 22,000 people across Canada and killed over 500. 680 Stuart McGinn joins us live with the latest. Stuart.
As for the $73 billion wage subsidy program has been created to help businesses keep staff on their payroll during this crisis. The federal government's offering to pay 75% of workers' salaries, leaving many of those struggling businesses on the line for just the remaining 25%, meaning layoffs could be reduced, and some companies could even start hiring back some employees who've already lost their jobs. Prime Minister Justin Trudeau talked about the emergency sitting in the House of Commons today during a time when so many are being encouraged to stay home.
It's really important, despite a time of crisis, that our institutions remain strong and our democratic principles continue.
Sitting begins just after noon, will include only a small portion of the 338 elected MPs. Just 32 will be there, those in driving distance of the nation's capital coming, while Andrew Scheer is using a government plane to fly in from Saskatchewan. Scheer and NDP leader Jagmeet Singh will be speaking ahead of the sitting about the government's response to the COVID-19 crisis so far. We'll then get the daily address from Trudeau from the floor of the House of Commons this afternoon. A small group of senators are also sitting later today to give the wage subsidy program final approval if it's passed unanimously through the House. Reporting live, Stuart McGinn, 680 News.
680 News Time, 9:04. We have breaking news from the province. They've extended emergency orders until April 23rd. This comes as Mayor John Tory calls for stricter physical distancing enforcement. 680's Joey Keeney has the latest.
Mayor John Tory sent a letter to Police Chief Mark Saunders and the Executive Director of Municipal Licensing and Standards, Carlton Grant, to request tighter enforcement of the city's bylaws. As a part of the ongoing blitz on parks and public squares, Mayor Tory says after a week of giving citizens a talking to and sending them on their way, the time has come for more ticketing. The mayor also says we need people to realize as quickly as possible what they need to do to stay healthy. And the province is extending all emergency orders until April 23rd. This means all of the measures in place are still in effect. This includes the closure of all non-essential businesses and gatherings of more than 5 people. As with every day, we're expecting an update on the province's COVID numbers around 10:30 this morning. Yesterday's report showed Ontario's biggest single-day jump in COVID deaths since the outbreak began. We are also expecting Premier Ford's daily address sometime this afternoon. I'm Joey Keeney.
Apple and Google have announced a joint effort to help public health agencies across the world leverage smartphones to contain the pandemic. New software the companies plan to add to phones would make it easier to use Bluetooth wireless technology to track people who may have been infected by carriers of the coronavirus. The idea is to help national, state, and local governments roll out apps for so-called contact tracing that will run on iPhones and Android phones alike. Using Bluetooth, the apps would gather a record of other phones with which they came into close proximity. Data can be used to alert others who might have been infected by known carriers of COVID-19 when the phone's owners have installed the apps and agreed to share data with public health authorities. Developers have already created such apps in countries including Singapore and in China to try to contain the pandemic.
With allergy season in full swing, many are wondering, are these symptoms just allergies or could it be something more? 680's Madison Fitzpatrick tells us how you can spot the difference between allergies and COVID-19.
Watery eyes, coughing, and a runny nose, all symptoms common with seasonal allergies, but now they're all associated with COVID-19. Health specialists say the biggest difference between the two is a fever. It's also helpful to understand what the symptoms are for COVID-19, the common cold, and flu, and seasonal allergies. According to public health, common symptoms for COVID-19 include fever, dry cough, difficulty breathing, diarrhea, and the loss of taste and smell. Symptoms of seasonal allergies, however, include sneezing, runny nose, coughing, and itchy eyes. If you're still unsure, the two leading signs of COVID-19 are fever and the shortness of breath, and congestion is minimal. And when it comes to allergies, there's often much more congestion and sneezing. Officials say you should consider how long your symptoms last. Seasonal allergies typically last the whole season, while COVID-19 symptoms often last between 1 and 4 weeks. I'm Madison Fitzpatrick.
680 News Time, 9:07. 3 men are facing charges in a $1 million vehicle seizure investigation. The commercial auto